Hey everyone, welcome back to OT Graps. I'm Umer,
I'm Trevor.
and this is OT Graps, the wrestling show with the weirdest hosts, but the most awesome time. We have a wonderful show unplanned for you today. We're going to be talking about CM Punk, WWE, and UFC's merger officially going through. It is one company and so much more. Nia Jax returning, so much to talk about, Trevor. Um, we have a lot to catch up on. I was on
We do?
vacation. I was at the beach last week. Couldn't make
Okay.
show happen, but we're back. How have you been, my good friend?
Been okay. Been here, working,
You sound a little
and
stuffy. You sound a little stuffy.
I am a little stuffy, a little stuffy. Allergies suck,
And
but
and you're and you sound congested. You're stuffy and congested.
yeah, I am. I'm all
Look
those
at you.
things.
Nah, let me stop.
I'm all those things, but
Stuffy
I'm doing all
and
right.
yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you feel good, bro. Please, if you're out there and you're feeling stuffy, get some rest, drink some water, drink some liquid, drink ge- get some OJ, some nice orange juice. um, but like I said, we got a lot to talk about, Trevor. Let's get right into it though, because you have not had a chance to tell the wonderful people your thoughts on this, and I just want to hear. I quite frankly just want to hear. Trevor, the day before AEW All Out, CM Punk got fired from AEW, and Tony Khan released a statement in which he said that he is firing him with cause, and he is doing so because his life and the life of other people he felt was in danger. This is a direct quote from Tony Khan. Dave Meltzer also reported days following AEW All In when this fight supposedly happened that CM Punk at one point, quote, lunged at Tony Khan. That's the language he used. But Dave also did clarify this and say that what actually happened was probably more aggressive than lunge, but he said lunge was kind of putting it lightly. A lot of stuff there. Tony Khan, by the way, I was at Collision. He came out, and here's the interesting thing. So before Collision, then I will let you talk, but I just want to preface
Absolutely,
all
yeah.
this. So I was at Collision, and before Collision, Tony Khan comes out and he sits down in a chair and he talks to the crowd in Chicago, and he tells them like for real what happened, and he says that I felt like my life was in danger. I felt like you know like my well-being, the well-being of others around me was in danger, and I couldn't have that happen. I couldn't do that to my coworkers, couldn't do that to my employees, I should say, like something along those lines. It was very emotional. Um, he said that to the live crowd, and then the live crowd didn't actually see what happened on TV. And on TV, he he appeared in a pre-recorded message essentially saying the same thing.
Yep.
So AEW not only addressed this before AEW All Out. They addressed this before Collision in Chicago, both through a press release on social media and on TV in the live crowd. It was made clear that CM Punk was fired with cause, and they pretty much said what that cause was. CM Punk getting fired, Trevor. What was your initial reaction?
First off, my phone has blown up too many times recently, and none of the reasons were good except for this one. Um, like it was one of those things where I'm like, whoa, did this really happen? I literally looked every source that I know and checked it out. I'm like, did this really happen? CM Punk getting fired is probably something that should have happened a long time ago. If I'm being honest, I also read reports that you're talking about. They say that he lunged at Tony Khan and screamed, "I quit." Those are some of the reports. I'm not sure if that is really what happened.
We'll never
Um,
know.
we don't really know. Ace Steel has spoken out about it as well. Uh, it's a lot. It's and you can only believe like 2% of anything Ace Steel says.
Arr, arr,
All
arr,
right, he did
arr,
better.
steel. Arr.
I bite people because that's what's cool
It's gonna
nowadays.
leave a mark.
Um,
Damn. Don't bite
but
yourself.
no, it's. I mean, it's one of those things where honestly, I think probably it should have happened a long time ago. It's you can't have a quote unquote grown man acting like he's better than everyone in the company when he has been the cause of a lot of the turmoil, a lot of the problems in the company. People are afraid to come to catering. People are afraid to come to the building. One wrestler leaves the company because he's been bullied by the man.
Who was that?
Brian Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh, really? That came out?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much one of the things that was said. Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
he's in WWE now. Well, he's in
Well,
their training
yeah.
facility.
NXT is oh, he's gonna come out. Could you imagine what Brian Pillman's like WWE name is going to be? It's gonna be like,
It's gonna be
oh,
something terrible.
it's look at him. It's
Pillhead Jr.
Hillhead Jr. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, they're probably gonna call him like Brian Cannon. I could see that because
Yeah,
loose
yeah.
cannon, Brian
Luke
Cannon.
Cannon.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
boo.
not gonna be clever at all. You know it's
Don't
not.
get any ideas, Sean. Don't get any ideas, Shawn Michaels.
Oh God.
Brian Cannon. That's too
But yeah,
close to full.
it's been a lot. It's been a long time coming, and I'm here, and I'm sure you have said this, and I'll say it again. He's not going to WWE. It's not happening. Triple H does not want him there. Triple H has already said he doesn't want him there. It's not happening.
You sure about that? Because I
If it
think.
happens,
What are the odds, in your opinion, that he goes to WWE? I'm interested to hear this.
I feel like some things will have to be in place for him to like. Some things will
We
have to
might
be
have,
different for
like
him to.
we gonna have to put like the child like those child like blocks, those child barriers around the body. Like, okay, Punk, you're allowed to go
it,
here. But that's what Tony Khan tried to do, and it didn't work.
that's true. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I feel like it'd have to be the perfect situation, and I don't think it's the perfect situation because Triple H hasn't. I don't think Triple H has changed his opinion about it, and Vince just wants the money, so it doesn't matter. But
Oh. For me, I think the odds of him. This is within the realm of if CM Punk returns to wrestling, right? Because I think it's 50-50 whether or not he actually goes back to wrestling. But
right,
within that 50%, I think there's if he does decide to go back to wrestling, it really is, I think, like 60-40. He goes to WWE or stays with AEW.
right,
Um, between those two companies at least. And the reason I say that is because it's not just a Triple H decision necessarily anymore.
no, not
Because
anymore.
the other topic that we are going to talk about later today, Trevor, is UFC and WWE, the merger, TKO and Endeavor. This is a new company, a new
Yep,
era
totally the
w-
company. Yep.
with with WWE. So at the end of the day, like we've heard that there's, they're having trouble trying to, or not trouble, but things are a little more or less lucrative as far as the TV deal goes that they're trying to negotiate. And at the end of the day, like if Punk helps them get a better deal, I think Ari
Yeah.
Emanuel, Endeavor, the people in charge are going to be like, "Hey, look, let's see if we can make it work." I 100% believe this. There will be a conversation at some point.
Oh,
There is
yeah,
going to,
yeah,
if
yeah.
there hasn't been already, like, what do we think? That conversation will happen because your WWE, you now are like trying to, in your Endeavor, you are trying to shoot the valuation of this company as high as possible. You just you just merged this company at a valuation of $9 billion. You're gonna try to get that money. Like that's what happens with these big mergers. So again, I don't think you're right. You're 100% right. They're gonna have to talk to Town about this. I
Right,
think like
right, right,
like
right.
the thing is right. If the only talent that I could really see them being like, if Punk comes, like I'm done. The only real talent I could see, like, having the big problem with that would be, like, Roman Reigns, or, like, who could have the power to say no, would be Roman Reigns.
Right, right. No
Who
worries.
doesn't like Punk,
Maybe
like,
Cody.
that's a thing. He still reportedly, he still holds it against Punk that, like, he called him, like, the other guy in the Shield or whatever, like,
Yeah.
so
I mean, Punk
ugh.
has rubbed almost everybody in the business wrong.
Yeah, I
Like they
mean,
don't they don't like him in ROH. They don't like him in New Japan. They don't like him anyway.
well,
And if you're not like in New Japan, like that's almost impossible. Hogan was there, and he was unliked
they well
and
well well,
and had
everyone
no talent.
everyone in New Japan loved Hogan's money. Um, like,
True.
let's be honest about that, alright?
He
Hogan and
had no
Inoki
talent, and he was a horrible human.
Hogan and Inoki, like, two of the world's biggest draws and two of the world's biggest, egos. I love Antonio Inoki, though, like, I hate as much as I hate
Absolutely.
Hulk Hogan, I love Antonio Inoki.
I know he
Um,
was such a great guy.
yeah, um, but, like, what did you think about, like, the way that how public, like, AEW was with, you know, the way that they went
I thought
about,
that was interesting. I thought it was very interesting,
yeah.
actually. Uh, I mean, well,
Like, were you
aren't we
surprised
used
by
to?
that? Were you surprised by, like, the fact that they were so blunt and, like, out there about the way that things went down?
I mean, I wonder if they would do it to try to make a point or make a statement. You know what I mean? To like make it seem like, look, we have dealt with a lot of BS with this, and I know everybody is talking about it. We we really got to be like, hey, this is what's happening. We got to get rid of this. We got to stop this problem. Like because at this point, it was kind of like an inside joke that wasn't so inside. It's kind of a public joke. But like Tony Khan has been pretty open about a lot of stuff that he's done when involving that company, though. Like even ignorant things he probably shouldn't have said or done on Twitter. But um, so
My god.
but with Punk, Punk has been very like vocal about everything. He's aired his dirty laundry since he's been there. So like, is it kind of fitting to like get rid of him the same way?
I mean, it's I think from I think part of it, right, was Tony Khan wanting to be honest. Part of it was Tony Khan wanting to clear the air because he knows that this is going to be a distraction going into All In. Like, he knew that. And but I think for the most part, this was them kind of being like, legally, like legally, we are protecting the hell out of ourselves. This was they wanted to make this clear as public as possible. This firing was with cause, and we are telling everyone that we fired him with cause, meaning we don't have to pay him out the rest of his deal. We don't
Right.
have to, keep his insurance or whatever benefits he may be for a certain amount of time. They don't necessarily, and I don't know exactly what Punk's contract situation is, but usually when you are fired with cause, a lot of times you don't get severance. You don't get, like 1 month's
Yeah,
paid
normally
or
you don't.
those
No.
90 days that WWE gets, right? Or WWE talent get. Like that doesn't come with that. So I think that's really what it is. I will also say this. The crowd in Chicago was very interesting. I don't know if you caught a glimpse of the crowds in both nights in Chicago.
No, not both nights. No.
It was interesting. I will say this. Before the show started, before Tony Khan made his speech, there were a lot of people who were like angry CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
Right, right, right.
I think it was split 50-50, honestly. Half the people were like chanting Colt Cabana, half the people were chanting CM Punk. But you saw a lot of people, even people who were booing Tony Khan when he came out, by the end they were clapping. In a weird way, I think that Tony Khan, when he came out and was direct with the fans about what went down, he won some of them over, or they at least respected. Like, here's one thing that someone right next to me, like literally at the show, was talking about. They were like, he fired CM Punk. Like they were talking to their kid, right? Because their kid was like, "Mom, why are you clapping?" He's like, "Well, he may have fired CM Punk, but it took a lot of guts to do what he just did because
Yep.
he did it. He went about it the right way, and I can respect that." It's literally what she said, and and I know, like, I know this is the silly world of professional wrestling where, like, and we're here, like, talking about like, we like to joke about it, but, like, from a human standpoint, like, that type of communication is important. And I think it's a plays a big part into why, the show wasn't completely hijacked, was never hijacked really. Like, everyone was worried, right? Like, everyone was like, "Oh, man, this show's gonna get hijacked, and no CM Punk, every AEW show ever from now on, CM Punk,
Damn, bro.
CM Punk, like, and he said, I don't know what game. That was a but shout out to the Honky
I don't know
Tonk
what
Man,
that was
the second
because I'm
longest
pretty
reigning
sure,
the second
pretty sure
longest
Stupid
reigning
Chicago don't sound that way.
No, people in Chicago sound like this. I'm from Chicago, yeah,
Yeah,
Chicago. But yeah, um, but yeah, I mean, I think, it was a cool thing to see, interesting thing. I will say, like, when he originally came out and he, like, sat down in the chair and started, like, talking, I was a bit confused at first. I was like, "Is he cutting a
I think
promo?"
everybody was.
I was like, "Is he cutting a promo? What's going on?" And then, like, everything kinda became a little more clear, right? Anyway, CM Punk, Trevor, we've talked about him at nauseam. I wanna put this look, this is it. Anything else you wanna say about CM Punk? Outside of him signing somewhere or him, like, doing a podcast where he pops off on AEW, which I think Meltzer
Which is
said
gonna
that,
happen.
like, or something, someone in Sports Illustrated said that he might do, at some point, he's gonna put the company on blast, which would be look, it would be wild as hell, but it'd be entertaining as hell too.
Oh, absolutely.
But, anything else you wanna say before we put the nail in the coffin on OTCM Punk talk?
No, I for one am so happy that this bullshit is over. Like it seems like every week we're talking about CM Punk. CM Punk did this, CM Punk did that. Blah, 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 blah. Like I am so sick of it.
Someone just Jermaine in the chat just said, "That cornet impression was wild."
It was wild.
Was that even a cornet? That wasn't a
It
cornet.
was, it was just a regular.
It was just a no, no. Cornet would be
That
like,
would be
"But gosh darn it, Kenny Omega is a god darn terrible wrestler. He doesn't know how to do
with a
that."
lot of explicitives.
I look, I'm in a good mood. I'm trying not to keep the curse words to a minimum, like,
Of
it's a
course,
new thing I'm trying. It's
of
not all
course.
successful, like, but, we're trying to
No, no. I've just said bullshits, and I said it again twice. So I'm working on it now.
miss me
That's the
with that.
problem.
Miss me with that, as the kids say.
Is
One
the
good thing that
children
happened in AEW this or two good things. One, AEW All Out was a fantastic show.
Oh, it really was. I was pleasantly surprised actually.
Trevor, I know I've said this before. I'm going to say it for the people in the back in case they didn't hear it. Bryan Danielson is the greatest
Greatest
professional
wrestler.
wrestler to ever walk God's green earth.
What we saw that night was the greatest professional wrestler wrestling one of the greatest talents.
Hell yeah.
It was it was a great talent versus a great wrestler. And it was amazing.
Ricky Stark and, like, I know people are like, "Oh, you're not giving Ricky Stark to do." No. I am just like, I'm a mark. I am going to just I'm going to
Oh
go
yeah, of course.
I'm gonna mark
And
out for
and
Bryan
you
all
should.
day. But, like, I don't even need to be the one to say anything about Ricky Starks. Look at what Bryan Danielson said about Ricky Starks in the post-show
Yep.
press conference. He went out of his way to say that he was in the ring with an elite talent in Ricky Starks, and he was in the
Yep.
ring with a guy who's going to be a champ. Like, he put him over not only in the match, but he put him over huge in the post-show press conference, and I was and if you weren't a fan of Bryan then, like, how can you not be? He's just
And
so but Ricky
he's
was
Ricky's
and to do
that
what
is
he did,
probably
I'm
the
so
greatest match I've seen Ricky Starks in.
oh, not
And
even
I'll say it
close.
right now. That
For me, that's
that's
like
one of
one
the
of my
greatest matches I've ever seen him in.
for me, that might be like my match of the year. Like, and I am jaded. I am. Like, it is. Give me like 3 weeks, and we'll see how I feel about it. But like, that was so great, and Ricky deserves all the flowers. 24 hours, Trevor. That was a match
Yep.
with a 24-hour build. Ricky Starks the night before on Collision cut one of, I think, his best promos ever.
Amazing promo.
Man, it
Dude,
was he's so great.
and you know how I feel about Ricky. You know how I love Ricky. I mark out for Ricky. I love Ricky. That was I don't even know what to say about it. That's how good it was. It was such a great match, and I've been meaning to talk to you about it all week. Um,
This is
and I love that what Danielson said when he goes, what do you think I'm going to do to you? I was in a match with someone I love, and we beat each other to beat the shit hell out of each other. Like
you know who he was
that
talking
was
about too?
oh yeah, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's amazing. That's such an amazing match. And as good as that match was, to me, there was another one on that pay per view that was
I know where
just
you're
as
going
good.
with this. I know where you're going with this. Let me just say one thing here, and I want to, Trevor. Outside of going to a wrestling event with my father, which was all time, like that is my favorite wrestling memory of all time.
Right,
Like
right.
going to like taking my dad to his first wrestling show live. Outside of that, Brian Danielson coming out on a pay-per-view, 10,000
That
people
had to be
United
awesome.
Center. No, no, no.
It had to be
To
awesome.
Final Countdown.
Oh yeah, that's right. He sure did.
There's a video of me screaming like an 11-year-old girl, and I want every I and you know, I don't care who sees it. That was who I was, screaming at the top of my lu there was I jumped out of my seat. There was, like, a child next to me who was like, "Oh my god, daddy, he really likes Bryan Danielson." I was like, "Hell yeah, I do, kid. Let's go." I was and, like, people in my section were like, "What's he doing?" I was like, "It's Bryan Danielson in Final Countdown. Are you not fans?" Like
Have you've seen him come out to Final Countdown before, right?
never live. And never live.
Oh, okay.
Never in
That's what.
person.
Okay, okay.
I cried, I cried, tears coming down my eyes as the greatest professional wrestler ascended down the ramp to one of the greatest themes of all time that Tony Khan paid way more than CM Punk's, like, quarterly
I'm pretty
salary.
sure he did.
Oh, I was like, "Look, salary cap wise, we're up right now. Like, see, like we cleared some salary cap space. Let's get another final countdown."
Dude, I remember Roderick Strong, Dave Bryson, Brian Danielson. Sorry,
Um,
Dave Bryson. I'm
uh,
done. Oh, um, ROH. I forget what event it was. I really do, but it was live. It was one of their special pay per views. Brian Brian was defending his belt, and to hear him for the very first time come down to Final Countdown live was yeah. So I understand. I completely understand.
and you know what was like the dopest part about it was after the match was over, the music was playing again, right? Because he won. And then Brian, like he's up on the ramp with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he comes back down and he just like the crowd was like dying down a little bit, and he was just like, you know what? Nah, F it. This might be the last time this ever happens. And he's like, he's hulking up. He's hulking like
Right,
entire sections of the crowd up as we all wait to sing the final countdown. It was absolutely insane. I loved it, man. I absolutely
dude.
loved it.
I'm glad you got a chance to see your favorite. It's nothing like seeing your favorite wrestler live and like getting all that. Like it's nothing like seeing it. Like it's one of the greatest feelings ever.
Mhm. For
What are you looking
sure.
at?
I am I might this is interesting. Nothing. This is something on the back end. Hey, we mm, Trevor, can you do me a favor and talk to the people for like 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. I'm trying to fix something with Zoom real quick.
Oh, Zoom's messing up. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, but how about this, Trevor? How about this? We got another thing to talk about here. Nia Jax returned. If you want to talk about that, she attacked Rhea Ripley. What were your thoughts there?
It was interesting to see her back because I didn't think she was coming back. I don't think anyone knew she was coming back. Um, She looks in good shape too. She's been training, so she's been training with Mojo Rawley. Actually, did you know
I, Mojo Rawley, have been training so many wrestlers.
that? Yeah, he really has. But no, it was pretty good to see her back. But that's gonna be an interesting match. Like to see her and Rhea Ripley go at it. Oh, that'd be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Hope it's not just a one-off thing. I hope they actually take their time and build build a rivalry. I forgot who I was talking about. That's not gonna happen.
I gotta ask you. Well, hey, WWE's been doing great, dude. The Judgment Day is. I will say this: WWE as of late, they know what they're doing as far as these stables go. Bloodline, now the Judgment Day,
Yes,
they're doing well.
Judgment Day is doing well. Honestly, I actually do love the Judgment Day. Oh, something we have not been able to talk about, dude. Miz has given the best promos I've seen him give in his like 20-year career.
Yeah,
The Miz has been doing well, really well with his promos. I don't know where he got the talent from, but whatever he's doing, he needs to keep doing it.
I agree. Like this man is, the Miz is someone who doesn't get like. I know people in the chat are like, "Oh, he's overrated. He doesn't really." Mike Mizanin should have never won Money in the Bank. But like,
Oh,
oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
yeah, we're okay. But no, like I mean, especially early on in his career, he did really well on the mic. Like that was one of his best things. He To me, he was better on the mic than he was in the ring for a long time. But like this whole promo and thing with what is going on?
Don't just keep talking, keep talking. I'm fixing something.
Oh
Just
Lord,
go with the
fixing
flow,
or
buddy.
adding?
Just
Uh,
go with the
uh,
flow. I know. I look. It is being worked on. Just this is a podcast. It's audio. Come on, audio,
of course, it
bro.
happened. Yeah. Uh, anyway, but no, like one of the things that I really, really do enjoy is him and LA Knight going back at it. It's
Night.
dude, like he just gets better and better, and it's crazy. It's insane, honestly, how good LA Knight actually is. It looks
I
like they
agree.
might be rehashing the Grayson Waller LA Knight feud though, and that'd be great if they did. That was a great feud.
Bro, Grayson Waller throwing barbs at John Cena is the funniest thing ever. He's just like,
It is,
hey,
isn't it?
he was. Do you see him? He was roasting. This man was out here roasting the beaches of Boston, Massachusetts. Like, yeah, John, I don't get the big deal, mate. It's no Australia. This is some shit, mate. It's amazing. And then like
Dude,
he's like, I'm gonna make you famous, buddy. You can't work right now. It's okay. I'm gonna put you to work,
what really makes me laugh is the fact that they've teamed Grayson Waller up with himself. It's really interesting.
isn't it? Isn't it amazing? Like this dude is
Grayson,
just
because I've said it before and I'll say it again. And anyone who is that Austin Theory fan, I could care less. Austin Theory is a less entertaining, less talented Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller is a much better Austin Theory too. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, much better, much better. He's so much better than Austin Theory. It's sickening. it
Sickening, he
would
says.
it would make more sense to push him the way you pushed Austin Theory. Oh,
I
back
agree.
to something that we did not talk about.
Hmm.
The second greatest match on All Out,
Yes, yes.
and I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this.
Well, here's the thing. There are like 8 bangers on that show. Um,
Yeah, it was. But
but
one of my favorites
go
was
ahead.
Freshly Squeeze.
Yeah, it was
Dude,
great.
that was a oh my god.
It was great.
I was never more sad and happy that someone lost a belt than that man. That was oh my god, it was such a good match. Sheesh, such a great match.
It was absolutely sublime. I love that match. It
But like you said, there was a couple bangers on that match though, on that pay per view. It really was.
like they treated, and that's the thing about OC. They treated him like he was a main eventer, which
Yeah,
they spent the past like 30 title defenses with Orange Cassidy, building this star, but they really cemented him as a star, as a
Oh, yeah.
main event star, in that match against, Moxley. He was even in that loss, like, that's the one my biggest takeaway, though, of All Out, Trevor, even in a
Yep.
loss, all the younger guys, they all got over, and they were better off for even
Yeah,
in the
you're
losing
absolutely
effort,
right.
they were better off.
Absolutely right. Like they did a great job at pushing a lot of those younger stars, and also like really like showing out for them and making them look stronger, and like that's exactly what that Ricky Starks Bryan match was. That was really a show of how talented Ricky actually is. That he can stand in there and go toe to toe with one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, with the greatest wrestler of all time. Like it was amazing to watch.
I agree.
But yeah, man, like all that was a damn good show, and I was
You know
really
what else it
shocked.
was, Trevor? It was a meaty show. It was a meaty show.
Yeah, it was. It
Bro,
definitely
the
was.
meat bro, that meat match was amazing.
Oh,
Miro
Rusev
versus
and
Will
yeah,
Hobbs. Another
that
guy,
was a
Will
that was
Hobbs.
a good one. Yeah, that was a good one too. And he finally got a chance to see Lana. What? That's not her name anymore.
CJ Perry, baby.
Such a man. It was good. We can sit here and talk about it all day because it was that good.
Like I said, absolutely sublime.
Meaty. I don't
Big,
know. Whatever.
meaty men slapping meat.
the,
To
the
quote the
direct
great
quote. Not,
Big E. That's the
I'm gonna
greatest
say
wrestling quote
it
of
is
all
the
time.
direct quote, not from Homer, but direct
But for
quote.
me, Big E, bro, Big E, formerly known
uh,
as Langston, Mister Langston.
Langston. Uh,
Oh man, craziness. Okay, well well, see that distracted the audience. That conversation that we just had distracted the audience long enough for me to fix Zoom. Um,
oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's get to some of these chats here. We got a few people here. Too bad Brian Danielson ain't Roman Reigns' height. He would have been the American warrior of the modern day. Oh, you mean the Ultimate Warrior? First of all,
Oh God.
Ultimate Warrior. Oh,
Oh God.
Trevor, this is I love you, you cheese. I love you. But oh, this is a take. This is a take
Yeah,
that
and yeah.
Trevor, imagine someone coming up to you and being like, "Oh yeah, Shawn Michaels, man, if he was a little taller, he could have been the next Brutus the Barber Beefcake,
I would, or saying Owen Hart could have been a little taller and been the next whatever. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
he could have been the next Big Daddy Cool.
No, I get exactly what you're saying.
I
And
love I
so
love you, you cheese, but gosh darn, you're trying to push my buttons without
he he has, I will say, he has what gremlin energy, like like Ultimate Warrior sometimes. But he's
Gremlin.
oh,
Whoa.
that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
Oh,
Gremlin energy is infinite,
we about to
infinite energy. You want to fight? I
put
think
him
you
up.
want to fight.
Put him up. It's like the bare knuckle boxing. Ah, see? Um,
See, she's gonna be.
yeah, I
That
mean,
wasn't good at all.
if he was taller, he would I think he would have been like a 80-time world champion.
Yeah.
Like,
What if he was like Mr. Perfect Height? I think if he was Mr. Perfect Height, that'd be
nah,
crazy.
he would have had to have been if Brian Danielson had every athletic ability that he did, had the same amount of promo skills that he had, and he was like 6'4", he would be bigger than John Cena in wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, but the fact that he was so small was the reason that most people didn't take a chance on him. Actually, he
It
said
doesn't
that many
matter
many
though,
times.
Trevor. Because he was born for greatness, greatness, greatness. Oh man.
Yeah, it was more
Um,
chats.
Jermaine says Ricky Stark, give him the title already. He's the one to beat MJF.
He should be. We
But
have
you know
said
what?
this in
You know what
nauseum,
though? Trevor, is
but
it
right
bad?
now,
I don't want MJF to turn heel.
me either.
Bro,
I'm loving
M
this in JF.
Okay, I said that Bryan Danielson is the greatest wrestler of all time. MJF is the best champion in wrestling. He's one of the best performers right now because, like,
Yeah,
the fact that he made you go from viscerally hating him to we all love him now. He's everyone's favorite scumbag. Like,
he is, dude. Like, I just, I just ordered a MJF T-shirt.
wait, hold up, uh, hold up.
I just ordered an MJF T-shirt. I waiting for my Ricky Starks T-shirt that I ordered last week as well. Dude, I just had to. Like, I like villains in most cases, and I loved like MJF in the first place. I like MJF in the first place, but
But he's
this.
not a heel. He's just better than you, baby.
Oh, you did get your better than you Bebe
Look at
T-shirt.
the back. The back is hilarious. It says double clothesline on the sleeve.
Yes.
Jordan. It's a good one. Um.
Is it wrong that I want a scissor trios championship? So
Oh,
if you pull one out, I am gonna call you
you
names.
can.
Okay.
We can. Could you imagine? I do have the foam finger here somewhere.
No, I,
Or the
I actually
scissors.
have that shirt. The Scissor Me Daddy Ass. I have that one.
Scissor me, daddy. Yeah.
And I have the FTR Top Guys out. I have that one. Um, and I and I been trying to order a Owen Hart T-shirt for the longest. So
Oh my god, this is hilarious. Jermaine in the chat says LA Knight got exposed that he was not on the elite level of mic talkers. From
when?
who?
How?
From
Who?
who?
Who did it?
Who?
You tell
Who?
her. Tell me who
Who?
did it.
Who?
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 Who? Are you talking he exposed the Miz? I mean, I used to, LA
Because he
Knight's
definitely.
promo where he was like, where he this man wasn't like, I'm the Miz and I'm awesome.
That was great.
Amazing.
But no, like, dude, like, I mean, I'm sorry. Ever since rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, Bray passed, every promo he has done has been on top. I mean, even before, but has been top tier. Even then, like, I, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I just said, like 10, 20 minutes ago, you got to remember, Miz was nothing but a promo artist before when he first got in. Like that was the best thing he could do. Like he couldn't do much else.
He's been cutting promos since he was on the Real World.
Yeah, I mean they were trash, but yeah, he's been cutting
Hey,
promos.
whoa, he was like the most entertaining person that season of the Real World. Not because I watched it.
That's like saying CM Punk is the like less angry person on Skid Row. Like, like let's just be real here.
That got really real, didn't it?
Like, but no, like I get what you're saying. Though. He was very entertaining on that show, though. I did watch it too, unfortunately. I think I watched it. Yeah, I don't know why I watched it, but anyway. But no, yeah. I mean, he's like you said, he's been cutting promos since the Real World. And that's the best thing he about him when he became a wrestler. I mean, he developed skill, but over time, but he was not good in the ring at all. Like I watched Miz just to see what stupidness he was going to say next.
I'm Miz, and I'm awesome. I main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Trevor, let's
What are
so
you laughing at now?
just I'll pull it up. It's just pretty funny.
Oh god,
Yeah, I'll just pull it up here. Uh, someone
that's
just sent
hilarious.
me. Oh, someone sent me this on Twitter. It's CM Punk tweeting Aaron Rodgers. Stop sending me this.
CM Rogers.
He just says CM Punk. Some CM Punk just tweeted this photo. Was like, stop sending me this shit.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god. Um. This is a good question. Jermaine in the chat asks, "Who's the most underrated slash overrated wrestling star today?" Who do
Ooh.
you got for who's overrated? Let's start with negative first. Who do you think's overrated?
Overrated. No. Austin Theory.
Trevor, how'd you know? I was gonna say the same thing. I know I got to pick a different answer. But Austin Theory, please explain.
Okay,
Explain your hatred for Austin Theory.
Okay, so here's the thing. When I first saw Austin Theory, right? I was like, oh, he has a lot of potential. Has a whole lot of potential. Then they put him on NXT, and he became whatever the crap he was on NXT, which was entertaining, but yeah. And then after that, he came to the WWE roster, and he saw him a few times, and everybody who saw him a few times literally was like, "Oh, this guy's it. This guy's the next big thing." Blah 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 blah. So what do? They put a title on him. Okay.
They put money. No. They put Money in the Bank on him.
Oh yes, right. You're right. Sorry, they put money in the bank on him.
Baby steps here. Baby steps.
No, you're absolutely right. They put money in the bank on him. And look at me when I say this. I want everyone out there to look at me when I say this. He used the Money in the Bank contract to not even go after a main title. Wasn't it like the Intercontinental or the TV? I mean the US
WWE United States Championship.
Champion. How else do you let a wrestler know he ain't shit? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Whatever momentum he had was cut in half. Pinfall. Then you actually let him win the belt. He holds it. Who does he defend it against?
Whoa. There's a piece in there that you're kind of missing here, pal.
Please elaborate. Please.
He cashed in Money in the Bank. You remember that, right? He cashed
in on a United States Championship.
You remember what happened when he cashed in?
He lost it.
Remember how he lost it?
Didn't he get? Wasn't it Bobby Lashley?
Yep. But he went out there and he got buried.
He got the hell beat out of him. The hell beat out of him.
And then a month later, he won the title anyway. I would have had a lot more respect for it. I would have had a lot more respect for it if Austin Theory catches in, wins the US title, and said, forget the United States or forget the WWE Championship. That thing is rigged anyway. Like the Usos and all these guys are gonna they're always going to be there. I'm gonna make this championship mine. I'm gonna make this the most important prize in WWE. Easy, slam dunk. Instead, they went,
he's over.
He's a jobber.
He's completely over at this point. He's on top. You make him a tweener heel face.
Trevor, notice though. When that happened, that was around the same time that all the Austin Theory stands in the chat really shut up.
Yep, it was.
They really stopped
we had
talking.
A lot of them, didn't we? We had a lot of them. We had one guy
giving us downvotes because you're like, oh,
Austin Theory is the best. He is the next John Cena.
Trevor, why do you think he like that? He's the best wrestler on WWE. He's better than everything.
Well, they were looking at the screen when Austin Theory lost that Money in the Bank, like, oh, did I do that? Like,
we had one guy say that he was better than Darby Allin.
That's a damn lie. It's like, what's that line from F the Police? It's a lie. It's
yeah. Like my grandmama used to say, that's a bald-faced lie. A bald one. Never knew why a lie was worse when you had no hair on your face, but apparently it is.
That's a damn shame.
But yeah, that's why Austin Aries is. I mean, I'm sorry, not Austin Aries. Austin Theory is trash. My Austin Aries rant is for another day.
That's
But
that's
anyway,
that's a whole episode right there. We can both rant about Austin Aries for a whole ass episode.
can't stand him either. But anyway,
If I had to say most overrated for me, I mean Austin Theory, yes. But
of course, it is fine.
okay. Let's see. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I like a lot of people. Like this is gonna. I don't
Right?
want this to come across as salty.
Okay,
Actually, you know, I thought of something better. Someone who's actually overrated with a lot of the fans. Tyrus.
Tyrus.
Tyrus. Overrated as hell. People worship the ground that man walks on just because he's on
When
Fox
he
News.
when he
That's it.
lost the belt, you know how many people cried?
Bro, but did you see? Bro, after the show, I'm gonna send you like the video of this man doing like a leg drop. It's the saddest thing. I am so confident in, or I'm so unconfident in Tyrus's wrestling ability. I will go far to say this: I'm a better professional wrestler than Tyrus. Never had a day's training.
I think the shirt that you have on is a better wrestler than Titus. Like, no, okay. Serious question: who's worse, Hogan in New Japan or Tyrus? Period.
Oh, Tyrus. It's not. Hogan in New Japan did wrestling. He didn't do them good. He didn't do them good, but he did wrestling moves.
He
Tyrus
tried.
can't
He
wrestle.
definitely tried.
He can't. He is incapable of wrestling.
No, no, not at all.
Like
Dude,
his match
even
against
though I
EC3
will say,
is one of the saddest things I've ever. It wasn't as sad as Ric Flair's last match. That was a travesty. That should not have been allowed to happen.
yeah, it
But
shouldn't
it
have.
was pretty bad. Tyrus.
Tyrus is pretty bad. Like, and like in Hogan's defense for in New Japan,
This can't be a
he
good sentence. And Hogan, no, look. He's a racist, but you know how many people on Twitter be saying that? He may not have liked, you know, the minorities, but
dude, the man couldn't even do an enziguri. Like it's the
look,
saddest thing
it,
ever. Dude,
look.
it's the longest enziguri ever seen in the history of wrestling.
But here's the thing: you will 100%. I promise you this, Trevor. You are infinitely more likely to go back and watch a Hogan New Japan match just for the mystique and the
Right,
and just to see the spectacle. Look, one thing it was a freaking spectacle when Hogan would try to be a mat wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
dude. Like, I think 10 Asian children cried when he did that match.
10.
Be-
So you're on some LeBron, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7,
10.
multiple. 10, 10, 10, 10. Yeah, it was not great.
But no, Tyrus can't wrestle at all.
Most underrated wrestler.
Oh, I know where I'm going. I don't know where
Go for
you're
it.
going though. I'll let
Go
you go
for it.
first because I went first.
Okay, cool. So before like a month or two ago, I would have said Chad Gable, but they've done a great job over
Same.
the last few months. Like his feud with Gunter is like amazing.
It's great. It's really good.
Right now, I think Daniel Garcia.
There goes it. Damn it, because that's where I was going to. Yeah,
Like,
I totally agree with that. I completely agree with that.
and the reason for it isn't because like people know he's a good wrestler. He's just like Trevor.
Yeah.
He's just doing this. Just dancing. Prince Nana. Prince Nana. He's doing Prince Nana shtick by just
Hey,
dancing in the ring. And it's
he went to
entertaining.
the. It is. He went to the prestigious school of Xbox wrestling.
Enzuigiri spinning heel kick. Spinning heel kick.
um
Spinning heel kick. Spinning
look
heel
at the
kick.
pelvis. Look at the
No, it's
pelvis.
literally spinning heel kick, pelvis, spinning heel kick. That's
That's it. If you want to learn how to wrestle like a hack, that's how you do it.
Shout out to X Pac, by the way.
Never respond to us Sean, ever.
No. Zoom is. I'll give you the Zoom code right now. We'll get you on it, so you can be like, "What the hell, bro? Why y'all burying me?" And I'm gonna be like, "Yo, it was actually this one right here." It's like, "Oh, Eddie
No, it's
Kingston
actually.
calling in too. Eddie Kingston.
Listen,
Uh-oh."
I've been nice to Eddie. I have been very nice to Eddie.
And Eddie's gonna be like, well, "I tried to fight you. When? Back in this independent wrestling. Yo, I remember you. I remember you."
I have given Eddie his flowers since everything. I've given that man his flowers. Now, Xbox wouldn't get nothing but a rose with a thorn on it for me.
Hey, man, that is a future 2-time Hall of Famer. Actually, no.
He's
Sorry,
already a two-time Hall of Famer.
he's already a
Yeah,
2-time Hall of Famer.
he's a
He's a future
three-time Hall of Famer.
3-time Hall of Famer. I apologize.
No,
Potentially
yeah.
4-time. Potentially 4-time. Because like you still have the Click, and you still have X-Pac himself.
Jesus. And 1, 2, 3 kid.
Bro. Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame. It's all love
It's
to
free
Coco
game
Beware,
at this point.
but it's a free. Anyone can be in.
And you know what? He was substantially more talented than X-Pac.
We got Yachi. Sorry. Who's your most underrated right now?
Underrated. So yours was Daniel
Garcia.
I don't know if this is very accurate, and the only reason I say that is because you see him do stuff, but the only reason I say that is because he's kind of outshadowed by his other wrestlers. Willa Yuta. He's kind of outshadowed by the other ones, but like that's why I wasn't gonna really say him. I was thinking more of someone else actually, because like I like Wheeler Yuta, but I feel like he has had a title or whatever, but like let's see who else. Because Daniel Garcia was where I was gonna go. Underrated? No, he is not. Jack Perry is not underrated.
We'll say this. You know what? He surpassed my wildest expectations of him, because this man went from like Jack Perry. Yeah, I'm gonna go through this glass. He was like, "I'm Jack freaking Perry. Fry me a goddamn river." Like I was like,
that's the thing. I saw that in him. I've seen what I've seen in Jack Perry. He has all potential to be a star, just like Ricky Starks. But that's why I wasn't going to say Jack Perry. But like, and you started doing the old man,
the mush
gumming.
Yeah, I'm Jack Perry. It's like the man gets into one fight with CM Punk, and he's just like, "I'm Jack." He learns how to speak.
I'm the man now.
It's like CM Punk is the magical power. He touches someone, and it's like good at promos now.
Oh, I know who. Blue Sky.
Oh, Sky Blue?
Sky Blue. I could say Blue Sky Lord. Yeah.
Sky Blue's not. I think Sky Blue's on the come up.
Yeah, now, recently, in the most recent weeks, but yeah, definitely underrated. Underrated.
I just thought of someone. Well, here's the thing. Most of AEW's women's division. Where the hell is Riho? Where the hell is Riho?
Where's Willow? Where's Willow?
Oh, Willow's on TV. You're busy on Saturday nights. You don't watch Collision.
Yeah, I'll get a chance to watch
bro,
Collision.
I'm a Collider, bro. I love Dynamite, but don't get me wrong, but I love Collision. Collision is my favorite wrestling.
I record Collision, but I haven't been able to really catch up on it yet. I record Collision, I do. Willow Nightingale is probably one of the best things in women's wrestling right now. I love Willow. She's very, very great wrestler. Very good wrestler.
Very great. She's the best wrestler. No one wrestles like her.
No.
I will say honorable mention to Cool Hand Ange, Angela Parker, and Daddy Magic. Magic, bro.
dude,
big shout out to Daddy Magic. You know what,
he
man?
is
Daddy
absolutely
Magic's my
completely inappropriate, but I love Daddy Magic.
He's amazing. Do you know how many when I was at Collision, do you know how many Daddy Magic fans there were? They were like kids,
Are, are there any Daddy Magic t-shirts?
What?
Because I haven't seen any Daddy Magic t-shirts.
Oh, there has to be. If there is not a shirt that has like nipples on it, in the card, that's the shirt AEW. Just the very
just
male
just
nipple.
just pay the man. Oh man.
You Chase in the chat asks, Gable Stevenson's Alpha Academy would be a good fit. Oh, I ain't touching that one, Trev.
Nope.
Um, Gable Gable Stevenson has been taken off. Here's what I will say about Gabe. Oh, Gabe. Stevenson was taken off the WWE NXT roster on the website. There's rumors that he's likely going to be pushed to the main roster. There's also some speculation that this could have something to do with some things from his college years, where he was
Yeah.
accused of I'll just say it. There are rape accusations against Gable Stevenson. So
Unfortunately, yes.
at this time,
Unfortunately,
I
there are.
don't know. I'm not gonna say I know enough to speak on it, but here's what I will say. From the sound of what a lot of people who I respect have said about it and wrote about it, to my knowledge, doesn't look good.
Nah, nah. I've
But
heard a little bit of it. I haven't really got a
yeah,
chance to really pay attention to it.
yeah. Again, that's why I don't feel comfortable having like a full-fledged conversation about it because I'm not knowledgeable. But if he did do that crap, he's a scumbag, and he deserves
There
rock.
you
go.
Point blank. Period.
Speaking of scumbags, you want to talk about Matt Riddle?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Danny Masterson. Okay. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
let's talk about
Matt
it.
Riddle has been accused of other stuff too, but
Yeah,
there was a story this week that Matt Riddle accused a police officer at JFK Airport this week of touching him inappropriately and sexual
I
assault.
did see that. I did
He
see that.
posted in a now deleted post on Instagram. He pointed to that. There are reports coming out now that he was inebriated and under the influence and very visibly intoxicated. I think reporting has kind of backed that up now. They've confirmed that it was him, and he's been taken off of WWE TV. He's been taken off of the live events. Remember,
Yep,
Riddle is a guy who took 6 weeks off of TV last year to attend rehab. My
he
view
did.
on this, Trevor, is pretty clear. I hope that if Matt Riddle has, if he's having issues, I hope that he gets help. But I also, I don't. It is for again trying to choose my words carefully here.
Yeah,
For someone who's been accused of what Matt Riddle has been accused of, you would think that if big if his side is true, right? If he didn't actually do it, you would think that he would have a little more sensitivity
right.
about when he talks about that kind of stuff and doesn't use it as flippantly as he allegedly did here. But yeah, I mean, none of it is good. None of it is good.
No, it's one of those things. And you know me, I'm not the person that mixes words. I say what I mean. I keep it 100, but which is why I'm not going to completely speak on it how I normally would because I don't know all of the particulars and I don't want to potentially offend or make little of a situation that is
Yeah.
not little. But if his side is wrong and he is, for lack of a better term, lying, then he's a bigger scumbag than I once thought.
Yep. The scumbag
And
train continues, Trev.
yeah, and never needs to step foot in anyone's ring ever again.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Speaking of scumbags, it doesn't stop. Vince McMahon and the McMahon family, their final day of owning WWE outright was yesterday. For the think about let me put this in perspective for you, Trevor. For the better part of the last like 60, 70, almost for like 70-ish years, the McMahon family has owned WWE in whatever form they were in, whether it was Capital Wrestling, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Federation, and now WWE. It's from Jesse to Vince Sr. to Vince. It was a family lineage.
Right.
It's over. And I think it's one of those things that, like, we knew that this merger was happening, and it was like the big
Right.
story, arguably the biggest story in wrestling history. But man, like it's crazy when you really think about what that means. Like WWE is like like I don't know. For me, it was like I always kind of felt like even if Vince was in charge, there had like it was still rooted in pro wrestling.
Right.
And I'm not
Right.
saying that WWE is going to become like a freaking cartoon tomorrow or something like that, but like it's a different company now. Like it's a completely like the future is who knows what's in the future for this company.
Yeah. Like it like you said, it's kind of it's the end of our era. Well, it's not kind of. It is the end of our era. It's it's almost surreal. Honestly, you can't. I've never watched this company when a McMahon was never, in charge of it. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's. I'm gonna use a wrestling quote. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
I am not a Nuggets.
But no, seriously, it's interesting, and I'm, excuse me, very interested to see what direction this company goes in after this. Now, the
Yeah,
question is,
WWE World coming to Orlando, Florida.
the question is, do they have any say in anything?
Ooh. I mean, Vince is still technically a 16% like shareholder or whatever. He's chairman
Okay,
of TKO. So like
okay,
he technically, quote unquote, is above Dana White in the pecking order, but I don't think he
gotcha.
the thing is like it's kind of like how like Disney owns Marvel. Like
Uh,
Marvel has their own head, and like the head of Marvel really decides and dictates everything. Like Disney will have like a say or two, but like it's really like
right,
like it's Triple H is quote unquote, or sorry, Nick Khan is reported the guy for for that. Like he is the WWE guy to Dana White's UFC guy. And Triple
interesting.
H too in part. Like it's wild. It's crazy. TKO, baby. TKO. That logo. I don't know. Have you seen that logo? That TKO
No, not
logo?
yet. I haven't seen it yet. No.
Let me pull it up here. It's actually. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of what's that show that it reminds me kind of like. Hold up. I'll pull it up so you can see. Do do do. Um, big, big, huge velocity vibes off this logo.
Ah, yes, it does.
Look at
Does
that. Big velocity
it,
vibes off of that.
it's green.
Angry. Let me make this a little bigger. Let me cover myself up. Look at that.
Ah,
Now let me cover you up. Look at that. Now let me put it in
disgusting.
between us. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's a big TQ.
TKO.
Like it,
Total
like it.
technical knockout.
And I always thought it should have been TTKO. But anyway,
Total technical knockout? Total technical knockout.
bing bing. Yes. Oh, and one. I don't know if we're done with that,
I don't know.
but
I don't know what we're doing at this.
do we ever?
Nope.
Those of you that watch UFC, did you guys see that massacre this weekend? uh,
Can
did you
we
see it?
man, you know what, Trevor? I didn't want to bring it up. But can we talk about this. Speaking of scumbags, all right, because the scumbag train doesn't stop here. Like, look,
Oh, it doesn't.
he beat, brutalized. He won. He won. He beat Israel Adesanya. That's fine.
Yeah, he did.
That's fine.
He did.
I don't care what anyone says. Sean Strickland is objectively an asshole for his comment. Did you hear what he said after the show?
I heard some of it, but like I didn't hear all of it.
Oh, you want me to play it? You want me to play it? It's some garbage. Let's
Okay, yeah,
roast
play it
this. Yeah,
because I did hear he had some scathing remarks afterwards.
about women. This asshole. Like, let's just play that. Here is Sean Strickland about what's wrong with the world.
Man, Americans, we need to go back to like taking women out of the workforce, and maybe that's where we fucked up, you guys. We let women vote. No offense, but let me I want to tell you guys something. Think about America prior to women voting. They try to ban alcohol. I don't even drink, but I'm not trying to ban alcohol. So what you did, man, you let these women come in the workforce. Now we make less money. You got kids raising themselves on fucking TikTok. We need to go back to like 1942, especially after, maybe 1958 after we fucked up the Germans. We need to put women back in the kitchen. We need to take only one man needs to be working. So I think as a collective man group, we need to elect somebody that's going to put women back in the kitchen, put one man working, raise the wages, and build a fucking wall. Have you ever thought about going?
Okay. So here's the thing. I knew he was a shithead a long time ago.
1 second. Objectively, an asshole.
Ain't nothing objective. He's a dickhead. But the thing is, I've known he's a great fighter. I've seen him fight before. I never shared his views. I always thought he was like you said, an asshole. And one thing, let me set the record straight for something. One thing. All these misogynistic, absolute douchebags that think women need to get back in the kitchen or whatever. Do you realize that is a male-dominated field? Do you realize I'm a professional chef? Men are always in the kitchen. Men were in the kitchen, professional kitchens. Men were in the kitchen for years. Not until maybe 20 to 30 years ago were women allowed to come in the kitchen. Please stop saying that dumb women need to get in the kitchen bullshit because it's stupid. My parents cooked. My grandfather cooked. My father cooked. No, my grandmother could cook and did cook. But no, it's completely bogus. It's bullshit. Please stop saying it.
You know what's what's like the most damning indictment of his comments there? The fact that
All of them.
the fact that, bro, all the people who've been in charge of society, right? All the people who've been in charge of society, all the lawmakers, like for the most part, what have they been, Trevor? Around the world, what have they been? They've been men.
Women.
No, they've
Men.
been
Yeah.
men. They've been
That's
men.
right. Yeah.
There's been
Yeah, you're
dudes in
right.
charge, and he's out here. We need to go back to a time where dudes were dudes. I was like, bro, Big Bang and Trump
Dude,
energy off of this loser. Like, I'm at, bro.
fucking
Well,
ass.
I get it, bro. Like,
But
you're trying to
that's
be.
why Dana issued an immediate rematch, right?
I mean, it's he's trying to sell pay-per-views. He doesn't care what the hell his fighters say. Like he let his fighters.
True.
He let his fighters go off on homophobic rants after like the show.
I mean,
Like
because
he
Kobe
doesn't care.
Covington. I mean,
He does. Dana White. This is the same guy, by the way, as Dana White, right? Who there was visibly a controversy where he assaulted his wife earlier this
yep.
year. Like that.
Dana's a douche too. Let's just be honest.
Objectively, most of the most powerful people in the world, most of the more powerful people
Our
who
men.
run these, they're not great people. They're scumbags. Like it's just the truth. Strickland is no different. Here's what I would say. It takes a pretty weak asshole to go on live TV and bury women. Like how weak
With
and
wrong
feeble.
information.
I mean, it's wrong. Like that's just, I won't say face value, but like, bro, like how weak are you, bro? Like how like insecure are you? How little are you, bro? Like, come on.
Dude, like
I'm over it, man. Like
what?
RG3 actually, RG3 said it best here. He says, quote, he said, Sean Strickland blaming women for the decline of our country and saying that they should be put back in the kitchen is wrong, irresponsible, and every level-headed person watching it can't wait for this guy to get his ass kicked. Women aren't the problem, Sean. You are. Yep.
Yep.
Big shout out to RG3.
RG3, a hero is you.
Future starting quarterback of the New York Jets. RG.
I mean, at this point, somebody is.
4 plays. This is look. Aaron Rodgers, man.
Kind of a douchebag.
What are we, bro? It's almost.
Is this the douchebag show? Is this the scumbag show? I think this is the scumbag show.
Oh my god! Just wait till like we talk about Jericho again. It's like Jericho.
Lord.
Where was our wife on January 6th? Still like the funniest wrestling moment of all time.
One day we have to explain to the people that.
I mean, I got a minute. I can explain it to them right now. I was at a wrestling show, and it was Jericho versus Bryan Danielson last year, AEW All Out, Chicago, Illinois. And during a lull in the match, nobody was saying anything. Some guy in my section stands up and yells, "Jericho, where was your wife on January 6th?" Very loud in Hoffman Estates, and he heard it. Jericho heard it. He was like, he looked up. He's like, "Where'd that come from?" And then he just went back to the match. I was like, "Oh, you heard it."
Are you going to explain that though?
His wife was at January 6th. I mean, I don't think it takes much explanation.
No. I mean, it doesn't happen. Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, I mean, like,
it doesn't take
it's on social media. She was at
doesn't
January
take
6th.
a rocket scientist to know that.
It's like, I wonder why someone would be saying something like that. It is 8:30, Trevor. What are you watching these days? What are you liking outside of professional wrestling?
Actually, you know what? I've been getting back into my two favorite things: reading comic books and video games. And reading in general. I'm a big reader. I've never really said that on the show, but I'm a pretty big reader. I've always liked reading. reading. Yeah, I've been reading a couple books. I also read a couple comics. I've just got back into a series called I Hate Fairyland. It's absolute. Says the guy with thicker glasses than mine.
I'm like turning into a troll.
You must pay this toll before.
But yeah, I've been reading that. Oh, I've also been playing the new space game on Xbox.
Starlight? Is that what it's called, or something like that?
Star is something. I don't know. I'm terrible with that.
I haven't played it,
but it's good. It's really good. It's kind of like Mass Effect, actually. I've been playing that, and also been playing Armored Core Rubicon.
You know what I haven't been playing, Trevor?
AEW.
Fight Forever. Yeah, it fell off, didn't it? It fell off.
And I feel really bad about it too.
I beat the game, like but then I was like, okay, what else is there to do? Like one-on-one matches.
Did you play 100 matches to get Owen Hart yet?
No, I haven't. I don't think I've gotten 100 matches yet. I will
what
say
are you
this: the Stadium Stampede mode is cool, but
it's fun. I said, what are you watching? What are you playing? What are you doing?
I'm reading. So as the people may or may not know, I may watch a lot of wrestling, but I exclusively read like really like nonfiction. I am a very boring ass reader. I only read history and nonfiction. Recently I just got finished reading It's Okay to Be Angry About Capitalism by Bernie Sanders. Big shout out to the man from Vermont.
Our reading material is completely different. This is one of the books I'm reading right now.
Was that say the Final Girl Support Group? What's that about?
Yeah, it's a horror book. It's pretty much about the final girls in horror movies. They after years of trauma they meet up and they have a support group and then one day a new girl comes in and that starts off a new horror movie. So
See, mine is about horror too, but it's about the horrors of unfettered capitalism. Look, this is horror. This is horror. This is like
it's dude. Everyone who likes politics, most of it is horror, in my opinion. But
all of
and
it is
God bless
horror.
you guys.
Politics is real life horror. Like,
And God bless you guys for dealing with it, so I don't have to.
hell yeah. And hey, if you guys want to hear me if you guys want to hear me let loose about politics, because I refuse to do that too much on this show, uh, go to my politics podcast at Q Show, where
And
where yeah.
a quick mention to another book. Joe Hill, if you guys don't know who he is, Joe Hill is Stephen King's son, and he also does novels and he also does graphic novels. Lock and Key, amazing.
I'm raising my hand, teacher.
I'm sorry. Please.
Stephen King is the exception to my rule. I read Stephen King. I will read
Oh,
Stephen King.
did you like Joe Hill? Actually, I would once we get off this and get some time, I'll really suggest a couple books to you. Joe Hill is amazing.
I'm a nerd. I like books.
Cool. Okay. Well, we just geeked out about books on this pod. I never
Yeah.
thought that would happen on this podcast.
Me either, dude. Honestly. Oh, and
Uh,
those who are wrestling guys, and you probably already read them, read Mick Foley's biography. If you've never read it, go back and check it out. It's amazing. Mostly everything he's written has been chef kiss, to be honest with you.
oh, here's the thing. You know what you're gonna laugh at this. So, when I was younger, I didn't know which Mick Foley books, like were good. Like I didn't really
Right.
know the order of them. Like I knew like he had written books and all that, but like I didn't like I was like I didn't know the order of them. So like I was like, man, like oh, I just got to get a Mick Foley book. I got to get a Mick Foley book. And my dumb ass, Trevor, goes to the library like
Oh
a
Lord.
geek. I go to the library and I was like, "Oh, they have a Mick Foley book. I'm gonna read this. I'm finally gonna read the Mick Foley book." You know what book I read?
Which one?
It wasn't Have a Nice Day. It wasn't Foley is Good.
What is it? Was his cartoon book? Was it his
No, no, no,
animated
no.
book?
It was Countdown to Lockdown. His worst book.
Oh, damn, it was terrible. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, it was
Down
so
to
bad.
Locked.
It was really bad, actually.
I was so mad. I was so mad. My library had that book.
And it was upsetting because he's such a great writer too. But that was really
That
bad.
was Mick. If you're listening, I read Foley is Good. I read Have a Nice Day.
Next day,
Great books, but I mean,
great
Foley
book.
is Good is a good book. I mean, his first one is like great. Have a Nice Day is an amazing wrestling, possibly the best wrestling book of all time.
I actually did a high school book report on that. Actually,
Did you really?
yep, got an A.
You know what? Like, you know what's like the funniest book of all time? The funniest wrestling book of all time? Because it's exactly what you expect it to be. It's like a Bret Hart's book, his autobiography or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's just him. Like whenever I read it in his voice because he's just like, oh yeah, I was in WWF and they screwed me. And then I went to
dude,
WCW and Russo didn't know what the hell he was doing. It was a goddamn shame. And then
dude.
I had a stroke. And then Vince, he was trying to screw me out of more money, so I had to sue him. And then they asked me to come and do the Hall of Fame, so I went and did the Hall of Fame. Here's a story about my brother Owen.
Like that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like it's if anyone that went to the Kanye West concert thought 30 minutes of Kanye blaming everybody for his follies was bad, no, 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 no. You have not read Bret Hart's book. It's 200 some pages of him blaming everyone else and saying how everyone else is terrible and Owen Hart is awesome.
I agree with the latter part of that.
No, me too. I mean, you can't. No, no disagreement here, but still.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Trevor, I think this is the part where we end the show. You guys
I
can
think
follow
so.
Trevor on Twitter at TREVERTAINMENT. That is TREVERTAINMENT. You can follow me if you want at RealMRQ. You can have a nice day. There we go. I'm gonna end it
There
on a
you go.
Mick Foley. A nice day.
There you go. And hug those who are close, love those who are far, and have a great week, guys. Do something for yourself. Like,
Do something
life's
for
too short.
yourself. Go spoil yourself. You deserve it. You
You
deserve it.
deserve it.
You deserve it, you little munchkin. Love y'all. Take care.